as Harry mentioned, I used to be an airline pilot, and one of the wonderful parts of that job is you never know quite where you're going to end up at the end of the day. And usually it's 10 hours later and 1,000 miles farther north than where you figured. But this is about a lonely night where I ended up in Chicago unexpectedly. But Chicago was like a magnet for me. It draws me there, and I dearly don't love the place. And one of the biggest tricks is finding food. Sitting out in the rain, this place I thought I'd never be again. Sitting out in the rain, it's not a thing I can explain, but I know you'll know. I know you know. I know. Standing out in the rain, this place I thought I'd never be again. Standing out in the rain, it's not a thing I can explain, but I know, you know, I know, you know, I know. Let's wash my hands, can't do a thing with them. Sitting out in the rain, this place I thought I'd never be again. Sitting out in the rain, it's not a thing I can explain, but I know, you'll know. Oh, thank you. Yeah, just washed my hands and can't do a thing with them today.
You might turn that guitar down one notch.
Down a notch, okay.
Just down a notch.
Just a little.
Just a little notch, yeah.
How are we doing there? Is that
That's
better?
good, yeah.
This is my song about Texas. Everybody should have a song about Texas, even if they don't live there. Sing me that song, the one about Texas. Leave out the part about things we need to change. You can sing about the desert sky, the smell of the piney woods at night. Tell me again how things have never changed. Sing about how we're happy in the Lone Star State. Sing me that song, the one about Texas, the one where we go there to be happy and free. Set the children to grow up strong and bright. The work is good and we'd never fight. Tell me again how things have never changed. Sing about how we're happy in the Lone Star State. This is the part my brother plays the fiddle. It's wonderful. When we get back on stage, you'll hear it. I may want to canción sobre Texas. Vamos ahí para ser feliz y libre. Los niños crecen fuerte y feliz. Trabajo es bueno y nunca peleamos. Dime cómo las cosas nunca cambian. Canta como estamos contentos in the Lone Star State. I'll sing you that song, the one about Texas, the one where we claim how things used to be. They say a Texan is always big-hearted and kind. A helping hand is never hard to find, and the strong always stood up tall to protect the weak. But there's more to being a Texan than what you speak. Cante como estamos contentos in the Lone Star State. Quite an audience here tonight. Thank you.
Oh, well, over on this Dallas Songwriter side of the Zoom, we got people over here, big crowds watching.
Thousands.
Hey, Rob, now you lived in New Mexico for a while, right? Eastern New Mexico, around Hobbs, down in that area?
Well, my grandparents were in Las Cruces, or outside of Las Cruces, in Radium Springs. And I spent every minute I could over there. And we lived in Houston, but I flew free because my dad worked for an airline. And every chance I got, I'd jump on an airplane and go to New Mexico, and spent my summers there.
Oh, okay, that's fun. Well, I've heard you talk about that. Yeah,
Many
you got
of
a
my
song
formative-
about that alley-oop bar or whatever it is.
Oh yeah, I think that's on the list today.
Oh,
Or it
great!
will
I
be.
love that song.
Uh,
You got that on a CD too, I think.
that is on my first
Yeah.
CD, and
Yeah.
the re-release of the first CD. It is.
Yeah, that's a great song.
That place is still there. It's in Radium Springs, New Mexico. They call it the.
Is that on the border?
No,
Sorry?
no, it's right on the Rio Grande, north of Las Cruces, about 16 miles.
Okay, well I've been through there then. That's no big-
it's called the Blue Moon Bar now, and it's not any rougher than it ever was. In fact, I'll do a song about the home place there.
Great.
Okay. Silhouette black mountains slowly start to fade. High thin desert air, pinon, mesquite and sage. Boys sing canciones to greet the waking day. Walk up the ditch bank road to meet los tios y primos along the way. Where do they go when the day has begun? Los tios, mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their songs. The sun gently lays the valleys burdened down. Uncles and cousins ride the ditch bank road back home. Mexican boys sing of broken corazones, songs of lost love, songs of longing for their home. Where do they go when the shadows grow long? Los tios y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys and their songs. Where do they go when the shadows grow long? Los tíos y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys in their song. Well pump engines drone, lightning streaks across the sky. Highway semi-tires whine and sing a lullaby. The smell of desert rain, chief is running through the night. Seconds till the thunder tell us everything will be alright. Where do they go when storms come at night? Santa Fe's big engines and knowing everything will be alright. Los tíos y mis primos, home place, Mexican boys in their songs.
So did the Rio Grande border his farm? It runs right down through there.
Yeah, ran through right through the middle of it.
That's a pretty little valley. I used to have a sales territory over there, and I would drive down from Albuquerque.
Oh, okay.
That's a long road between
It
Albuquerque and Las
Yeah.
Cruces. Oh,
Scary too.
yeah. But it's a pretty little valley, though. And a lot of people don't realize the Rio Grande starts way up there north of Albuquerque somewhere.
Yeah, it starts in.
Is it Colorado?
It's it's up in Colorado. Technically, it was about half of the ski resorts are in Texas, because all that used to be Texas.
Oh,
All the way to the headwaters of the Rio Grande was Texas. But
yeah. Well,
when they
it's New
joined the
Mexico
Union,
now.
they gave all the ski resorts to New Mexico and Colorado.
yeah. Okay. Great song. Okay, keep on going. You got time, man.
So many holes in this boat, you can see fish go by. Ask for help, nobody even tries. Not so hard to see what needs done. Pick up a paddle, shut up and sit down, 'cause you can row with me. You could row with me. You can row with me. We might get to the other side. Everybody's got ideas. Everybody wants a ride. 6 jobs need done. One's forgotten I did 5. Ain't so hard. See what needs done. Just pick up a paddle. Get busy, son, 'cause you can row with me. You can row with me. You can row with me. We might get to the other side. Wings on my money. There's bricks on my feet. There's no heat in the kitchen. There's talk on the street. Too much you remember that ain't happened yet. Too much you know I wish you would forget. But you could row with me. You could row with me. You could row with me. We might get to the other side. I can't know what you're thinking. I can't read your mind. I can't read your face when you're showing your behind. Don't know where we are. I know it ain't land. Pick up a paddle, shut up and take a stand, 'cause you can row with me. You can row with me. You can row with me. We might get to the other side.
You could make that song longer. That's a good song. I like it.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, a lot of these have more verses than I'm using.
Yeah.
I can't remember them all, but I do try.
Yeah, but like you was playing in a bar or something, you could do that for 10, 15 minutes.
Oh,
Probably.
yeah, that one just goes on.
Yes. Good song.
Oh, thank you, Harry. Thank you. This next one is basically about the dreams a person has when you abruptly stop flying after about 45 years. And it has a profound effect. You know, I spent an awful lot of time off of planet Earth for, from the early 70s up through 2016, and then abruptly stopped. So it affected me. This is about one of the dreams I've had about that. I'm gonna ride my flying pony across the sky. If you wanna come along, just hold on tight. We don't go very fast, but we do go pretty high. Let's ride my flying pony tonight. He only likes to fly at night, he can't navigate by day. When you don't care where you go, it's easy to find your way. I'm gonna ride my flying pony across the sky, make shadow puppets on the clouds as we go by. And when the stars roll around and day turns into night, the Milky Way makes real good reading light. Only likes to fly at night, he won't navigate by day. When you don't care where you go, it's easy to find your way. I'm gonna ride my flying pony across the sky, bulldog down to St. Elmo, steer around the anvils down windside. And if we get stuck up there, you know the view is pretty nice. Let's ride that flying pony tonight. Likes to fly at night, he won't navigate by day. When you don't care where you go, it's easy to find your way. I'm gonna ride my flying pony across the sky, high above the tropopause, that's where we ride. And when the sun is coming up and it's time to hit the hay, we'll fly home and put that pony away. Don't ever take my flying pony away.
Rob, I got to ask you this question.
Sure.
Were you flying when the pilots went on strike and Reagan fired all those pilots?
Yes, I was.
Did you get involved in that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, at the time I was flying really time-sensitive night freight, canceled checks and stuff.
Yeah.
Around in Learjets and fast little airplanes, and it pretty well wrecked our system. But we got through it fine. We still had about a 99% on time record, and we just put a lot of pressure on us.
But did you go on strike?
No.
Okay.
No, we kept going. In fact, things got so much better. When the weather was good, we actually went faster and our job was easier when they went on strike, because the guys that replaced them were supervisors and old retired guys and whatnot, and they knew how to get her done. And the striking controllers had gotten in such a bad mood and had gotten so cranky to work with that you could hardly get anywhere. But, we were sorry to see it happen.
It was the controllers that went on strike, right?
They were
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, what about 9/11? Was you involved? Were you get grounded with that?
On the morning of on Tuesday morning, at about 3:00, I got home from Houston. I bummed a ride on a Learjet because I was based in Houston at the time, so I caught a ride on a freighter, and Linda and my brother came and picked me up and drove up the the ramp at Love Field over in the cargo area right up next to the runway, where I hopped off the airplane and walked across with my bags in blue jeans and a t-shirt, I might add, and drove home. That morning, Linda woke me up to tell me that I need to look at the TV. Something terrible's happened. And that was, after that, we couldn't just drive across the airport and jump out of an airplane and go home.
Changed things, didn't it? Yeah.
Changed things a lot.
That's
So I wasn't directly involved in that. My next trip started, what was that, Friday, I think, that they got us back in the air. And it was a mess every day after that.
Oh, I bet. Still is. Yeah.
That was the end of the fun part.
That was history right there. Okay. Well, plus you got about 7-8 minutes. You're sounding great.
Thank you. Let me pick one out of the list here. I'm kind of making this up as we go here. How much time we got?
You got about 8 minutes.
I'll do something in C. When you think, I'll do something I can try and remember here. You start thinking about somebody you once knew. Start thinking that you wish you knew her better. You better think about how to keep the one you love before you send that card or a letter. Don't let her see that faraway look in your eyes. I advise it's cheaper if you keep her. You keep her happy and she won't be thinking all the time about some guy that you wish you knew better. You know it's been this way everywhere. It's been this way forever. You keep your hands to yourself and your heart will follow, and everything works a little better. You start thinking about some place where you used to be. Start thinking that you really like to be there. You better think about what it would be like to be there, wishing you could get yourself back here. You better think about somebody you used to love. Start thinking that you wish you knew her better. You better think about the one you got at home, and everything will work a little better. Better think about how to keep the one you love, and everything works a little better. Let me see.
You got to do the one about the airplane that put the last flight. When you brought the airplane home.
All right. Yeah, this is about an airplane that was. I got to fly. It was bringing its last trip home on its retirement flight, which is always a good thing when you're flying the last flight that an airplane ever flies, that you know it in advance. It's one of the best ways to do that.
Is that kind of a sad thing for the pilots when they retire?
I don't know. It's kind of melancholy. A lot of times
Yeah.
you're glad to get rid of the thing because it's left you walking so many times. But this was a particularly good airplane. I don't think it ever left me walking once.
So you'd flown it several times.
Oh yeah, I'd flown
Yeah.
it hundreds of times.
Yeah.
Get in, find a seat, put your bag right down on the floor. Put everything away, listen up, they're gonna close the door. We hope you still wanna go, cause we won't be here anymore. When this Boeing goes, tonight she's going home. Yeah, she don't look new, might have lost a little paint. It's got some little dents, no need to tell the FAA. If you don't think we're leaving now, just watch me fly away, cause this Boeing's going and tonight she's going home. It's only got 2 speeds, one of them's parked at the gate. A crew like this, you know, we don't get to die this late. Just watch out for Mr. Mike and keep that barber pole out of the way, cause this Boeing's going and tonight she's going home. If the plane ain't shaking, we're not making up time. We get there late, you know, they don't pay an extra dime. If we hadn't landed yet. Son, keep flying it like a jet, 'cause this Boeing's going in tonight, she's going home. Yeah, she buffets a little, then shakes like an old wet dog. Flies pretty crooked, but we don't put that in the law. When you hear the Pratt & Whitney's roar, get that agent down to the door, 'cause this Boeing's home, you know, sitting here at the gate. That's a pretty good commercial.
So some of them fly crooked?
Oh, they all fly crooked eventually.
Do they?
Yeah. They come from the factory. They fly just as straight as an arrow, and there's nothing you can do to make them better. So that, you know, anything you do makes it worse.
Well, I tell you what, you got time for one more song. Well, just play whatever you want to play.
Okay. Sorry, I almost played the same one again. Oh, all right. Saw a sunburned man walking down the highway. I was Cadillac by. He had a pack on his back with everything he owned, but no hat, and I had to wonder why. It's got to be a good story about the day that he left and went trucking on down the highway. Could have been there again, but I do it myself. You don't know, but I'll do it my way. I'm achieving locomotion. He's achieving locomotion. He was achieving locomotion and is headed south. Baby, baby, you're making me crazy with all these things you do. These things that you say and throw at me lately, it's starting to make me blue. But I'm achieving locomotion in my natural way, trucking on down the highway. Mr. Old Willie got nothing on me. You don't mind, I'll swing it my way. I'm achieving locomotion. I'm achieving locomotion. I'm achieving locomotion and I'm headed south.